Also tonight in national headlines, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney visiting the White House today to discuss trade and foreign policy with President Trump, whose trade war and calls to make Canada the 51st state have pushed tensions between the allies to an all-time high. National correspondent Atra El-Nashar reports from the White House.
America's friendly neighbor to the north arriving at the White House with a couple bones to pick with President Trump.
This is not going to be like we had another little blow up with somebody else. That was a much different. This is a very friendly conversation.
A friendly but strained relationship since President Trump took office. He hit Canada, along with Mexico and China, with double-digit tariffs before the rest of the world. Minutes before Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney arrived, the president posted, "We don't need their cars, we don't need their energy, we don't need their lumber, we don't need anything they have." Carney says the U.S. does need Canada.
We are the largest client of the United States. You know, 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world.
Before Carney and Trump started their closed-door meetings, the president drew a red line.
Is there anything he could say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No.
Why not?
Just the way it is.
American and Canadian officials have discussed tariffs before, but this Oval Office meeting was the first time we saw these leaders broach in person the subject of Trump's relentless calls for Canada to become the 51st state. Here's how it went.
It would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now.
But never say never.
Respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change on the 51st state.
1 week ago, Carney's victory marked a stunning political comeback for Canada's Liberal Party, credited to his tough stance on Trump.
President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us.
I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take full credit.
Greatest may not be the word Carney or Canadians would use, but President Trump's tariffs and expansionist view have, like for much of the world, altered their lives. At the White House, I'm Atra El-Nashar reporting.